Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Lunch and Learn Live for January the 12th. Allegedly, the second Tuesday in January is statistically the most depressing day of the year. I was unaware of that until a friend pointed it out yesterday. But apparently this is so. That's what the statistics show. It's when coming back to work meets the reality of what we've got to deliver at work, meets, I think in this case, a crazy ass beginning to a year as well. Now, I don't know how you're feeling in your neck of the woods. I know that if you're in the Activate Challenge with us, you're probably feeling fairly switched on and tuned in. I'm certainly not feeling depressed today. I'm fine, actually. So, but if you are feeling down, if you are feeling isolated, if you are feeling a little bit under the weather, today I am here with balm for your soul. So wherever you're in the world you are as you arrive to today's Lunch and Learn, please say hello in the comments section and tell me where you are in the world and what's for lunch. Hiya, Simone. Good to see you, my darling. I know I've never met you in person, but I feel like we've got such a deep Facebook connection. Do you know? I feel like I know you very well, even though we've never actually laid eyes on each other in real life. That's the power of developing online relationships in this day and age, isn't it? We can do amazing things online if we wish to. We can get to know each other and I'm just going to open my notebook so I can see my notes there. I've planned today for some great insights for you, I hope. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Where in the world are you? What is for lunch? Please say hello in the comments section as you arrive. We have a lot of awesome stuff in store for you today, especially around community, isolation, the impact of that, and talking about things at kind of deep and neurological level, and how to rectify in times like this, because surely we need to be able to do that. Hello, Pilar. How do I say hello in Spanish? I've got bom dia in Portugal. I've got bonjour in France. It's, oh my God, why can't I even think of it? Clearly, I haven't used my Spanish for a while. Bon dia? Bon something? Who knows? Tracy, hello, in a grey Andover in Hampshire. Lunch is rice cakes with peanut butter and Philly. Really? Peanut butter and Philly? That's an interesting flavor combination that I've never had before. I had homemade soup and wraps, which was very, very nice. Elizabeth's helping me with how to say Spanish, and the first version was this, how to say hello in Spanish, which is clearly a typo, because that's, hola, of course, Maxine, hola. How can I not that? Oh, buenos días, Pilar, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. Can you believe I did take Spanish for a year? It just didn't want to come out. I do know, buenos días, ¿cómo estás? Yay! Woo! Good. Well, welcome everybody. Good to see you all. Tell me what's for lunch. Hola is the easiest. Hola, bonjour, salut, ni hao ma. Who knows? That's it. I'm done with the hellos. So today we're talking about something that's really critical, I think, at the moment, and that is the sense of isolation that many people are feeling, or that when we put ourselves under pressure or we get under pressure because of external circumstances, we retreat into our little cocoons. We retreat away from the very sense of support that can actually help us. And I don't want for us to do that, which is why we are not going to be doing that. And we're going to talk about it today. Hello to all of you who are arriving now. Sabrina's up in Glasgow eating leftover moussaka. Simone's got leftovers for lunch, garlic spud, stuffed chicken, roast, tender stem broccoli, and asparagus. Oh, yum, I haven't had enough asparagus. Ah, very good. Amy is in wet Salisbury out for a lunchtime walk in the rain. Pitter-patter of rain on your shoulders, my darling. And Sheila is having Christmas cake for lunch. Sheila, how deliciously wicked. I love it. Well, let's talk about this problem first of all. The problem is right now that Well, depending on where you are in the world, you may or may not be in lockdown. I know of the places that I am familiar with. A number of my friends are locked down out in Australia. We are here in the UK and Northern Ireland, and Ireland, I believe, is under lockdown as well at the moment. France is too. How's things in Spain, Pilar? I'm not sure exactly what the situation is there at the moment. But we are really, here in the Northern Hemisphere, especially with winter drawing in and coronavirus getting out of control again, we're back down under lock and key. So we are not as connected as we would like to be with our communities. Then even if we're somewhere where we're not officially locked down, there is absolutely no denying that since about March of last year, the overwhelming majority of people on the face of the planet are very present to the impact of other people in their space, to not, being cautious about meeting up and all of that. There's a caution. There is a huge amount of caution about connection, right? Which is a new thing in our society. I don't think we have had this caution about connection probably since the last pandemic in 1918, right? It just isn't actually there. Even under other sorts of stressors in our society that we may have been through, like major recessions or depressions or wars, we still can hold those nearest and dearest to us, to our friends. We can hold them close. We can connect with them. We reach out to them. We speak to them. We can be not in isolation. Yet right now we are in a time unlike any other in our society where we are actually isolated, right? Where we are either by government decree or by choice isolating ourselves from connection with others. And it hurts. Do you know? It really hurts. I'm sorry. I'm really, really missing my family. Really, really missing my friends. I inadvertently hurt one of my friends the other day. It was unintentional, but the inability to go over to her and give her a big hug and say, I'm sorry, it hurts. It really hurts. And at this time, we ask, do you remember? I've been thinking fondly and looking back over photos of retreats and things that we would hold here at Wanameni. And do you remember when we used to come together in a room and we would dance together and we would hug each other without even thinking about it twice? I'd walk up to a crew member and put my arm around her and we'd have our little powwow, our chat like that. We would go to concerts. We would go to bars. We didn't care how many other people were in a small enclosed space with us. All sorts of crazy thing. It feels crazy, right? It feels crazy that we would be so decadent and we would be so thoughtless in our spreading of germs all over each other. But in our spreading of germs, we also spread such joy, such depth of connection, such neurological balm for the soul. And I think there's a lot to be said around that, ladies, that we can do some amazing stuff online, but there is nothing quite so profound as being in the actual lived space of another human being who is having an emotional state and is impacting the energetic fabric of the world around them, and their energetic fabric is impacting you and yours is impacting them, and somehow our neurologies can soothe each other. There's so much written about the neurological impact of the mother on a newborn child, by cuddling a young baby, because they study the formation of the attachment bond. But it stands to reason to me, as a scientist, that whatever it is that has a mother's neurology calm a baby is going to be exactly the same when we grow up. We're still animals. We are pack animals as human beings. And so this powerful moment in our lives is causing us to feel the weight of these things so very deeply, do you know? And then, of course, the additional problem with all of this is when we get stressed, right? When we start to, skip lunch, maybe have a bad night's sleep, got a looming work deadline, kids are being particularly challenging, and you're getting slightly more and more stressed, whatever your stressors are in your life, having to navigate, redundancies, or putting people on furlough, or working out whether you should or shouldn't open, or can or can't open, all the sorts of things we're facing at the moment. We end up in this situation where we are, as our stress levels go up, this piece I don't understand why we do it, but I have seen it without doubt through our community. The more stressed we get, the more we isolate. The more that we tend to draw away from people, we draw into ourselves. And I don't know why that is. I know for men, I know that for the masculine energy, when stress goes up, they tend to want to draw into themselves to find the solutions for the problem. But for the feminine energy, right? This is the thing. I think there is something unique about feminine energy, about us women, or any men with strong feminine energy as well, for that matter, is that the feminine energy tends, the greater stress relief is not the ability to draw away and solve, but the ability to share the weight of a problem, to be held, to be, whether that's physical or at least emotionally and spiritually held, to share what's going on for us. Does this make sense? There's such a powerful requirement. Yet I wonder if, because of the paradigm we live in, that we women think that if things get stressful, we have to draw away, sort it out for ourselves, and then come back into the world. That we can only be in the world when we are positive. That we can only be in the world when we've got it all figured out. That we can only be in the world when we've got all of our shit together, right? Let me know what you think about this, right? Yeah, Nicola says, fight or flight, back into the cave. Tracy says, I really do that. It feels instinctive too. Yeah, right. Absolutely. It's interesting, isn't it? And one of the things that I know to be true is, and I'm noticing it so at the moment we're running our Activate challenge. So if you're not aware of that, I'm not sure, many of you, I can recognize your names, and I know you're doing the challenge with me this week. We have over 1,500 women as of today who are in our Facebook group doing the Activate challenge with us. We are letting go of 2020. We are clearing our lenses to be able to have a fresh start on 2021, to be able to create some great plans and navigate in uncertain times. So that's what we're focusing on this week in the Activate Challenge. If you'd like to join us, please do. It is at oneofmany.co.uk/activate. So oneofmany.co.uk/activate, you'll be able to join the challenge. And what I've noticed in that group is that when we actually dig in, very few of us are bright and shiny and fabulous at the moment. So if there is this kind of lens that we're only allowed to be in connection with others when we've got our shit together, we're only allowed to be in connection with others when everything's doing okay, then we are depriving ourselves of the very thing that can get us to okay, right? Yet Jean is saying, I was taught to share happy things and hide sad things. And if that's what you grew up with, like, yes, it's okay to have your feelings, but have them in private and just come back when you're happy. Then we hit times like this, where we have had the most insane year in the world, and many of it, we've all had many great things happen in the last year. We've all had many really horrendous things happen in the last year, and the weight of that will be different for every single one of us, and our ability to respond will be different for every single one of us, because of our inner resources and the privilege that we are born into or blessed with. So we all respond. We will all be able to respond differently to that. But bottom line is, it's been a biggie, right? It's been a biggie. And so therefore, we are tending to isolate even more, I believe, and I've seen this in the One of Many community, even the women in our paid programs, I'm having to keep reminding them to reach out. I know on our Living the Change Christmas special, we had a fabulous meditation centered in love as a Christmas special just before we broke up over the holidays. And I dared everybody, I dared them to connect with one another, to organize a virtual coffee with somebody, to actually reach out and connect. because when we are stressed, now that we're isolated especially, we don't reach out because we think, well, everybody else is stressed as well. What else have they got on their plate, right? Who can relate to that? That you know there's been times that you want to be, that's exactly it. Sheila says you don't want to be a downer on others who may be getting out of their depth as well, right? Who can relate to that? Give us a little thumbs up or share something in the comment section. Say yes in the comments if you can relate to that feeling that over the past 12 months, you've probably not reached out for support and reached out into community for that balm and that solace and that feeling of connection and love and belonging, because you know that everybody's under pressure and you don't want to be a burden, right? It's so challenging. Yes, everyone's saying absolutely, thumbs up. Yeah, right, absolutely. Yes, Elizabeth's saying, I'm struggling to arrange a care package for my 90-year-old mum with dementia. The support from girlfriends who's been through it, just offering good advice, has been amazing, but I so miss being able to sit down and sob and have a friendship hug. It's so true. It's so true. So let's talk about why community and why connection is so critically important for us as human animals, right? As human animals. The first part of it is when you look at the wonderful Brené Brown and all of her research, she says we are hardwired for love and belonging. So it's not just it's not just a consciousness thing or a piece that kind of comes in over the top of us. We are hardwired. It's in our very DNA, the fabric of our being, to love, to be loved, and to feel like we belong somewhere. So we need community because we need to belong. We need to belong somewhere we are pack animals, right? It's so critical. And then the second piece, second reason and there's so many reasons we need belonging. And please share the sorts of reasons why you need community. Why do you feel you need community? Yeah, to share grief, right? Renee says, my father died in March and I've still not hugged my friends. How much does that hurt to not be able to share your grief, to be able to be held by your friends when you've lost your dad, right? It's full on. This is a crazy time. This is such a challenge, Tracy says, I completely agree, not reaching out, sometimes not knowing how to, even if I wanted to, yeah? And then Simone says there's the flip side of it as well, right? Sometimes you feel like you're the sponge that everyone pours their feelings into, and you're the one that gets, or everybody's feelings. Absolutely, I can hear that, right? So as we think about why we need community, we need it because we are hardwired for love and belonging, because we need to belong somewhere. That's the first reason. The second reason is support and belief, right? Support, this, being able to be held by friends when we're going through tough times, being able to celebrate together, to recognize beautiful moments and celebrate those together. But to have people believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Whenever I have a client, and I do quite a bit of one-on-one VIP work, so I often work with, women entrepreneurs, predominantly women entrepreneurs, occasionally employees, high-level employees, but predominantly women entrepreneurs in my one-on-one consultancy. And there's often this kind of, we dig into imposter syndrome quite a bit, and there's this sense of, I really should have this kind of unshakable self-belief. I've got to believe in myself more. And to a certain extent, I say that's true, but there is a big part of self-belief where I say, actually, our belief can come from others. I tend to surround myself with people who believe in me more than I believe in myself. And that works beautifully for me. It works beautifully for me because I have a good, strong imposter syndrome. And yes, she limits my experience of life, at least on a monthly basis, sometimes weekly, depends how tired I am, occasionally daily, not usually. I have kind of developed a reasonable relationship with her over the years. But she does. Of course, she limits my experience of life, my imposter, that sense of, imposter syndrome. But because I am surrounded by a team of incredible men and women who believe in me more than I believe in me, then I keep stepping into the space that they create, right? They create a space for me to shine, to step in. They create a leadership space for me to lead them in, and I keep stepping into that, and it is such a profound gift from those people in my community, in my work community, and similarly family. You know, not all of my family do that, that's for sure, but, you know, key members of my family absolutely do. So there is a piece here around support and belief, that having people around us who believe in us is so important, so that when we hit something that's hard to navigate, whether it be a work thing, a family thing, a relationship thing, we've got someone there who goes, you know what, I know you're having a tough time, but I believe in you. I really believe in you. I know you can do this. Let's see if we can come up with some ideas together. You know, it's profound. Sometimes that support looks like troubleshooting and problem solving together. And sometimes that support looks like holding somebody, just being there for them, saying, you know what, yep, this is fucking hard, my love. Cry it out. Let me be here for you while you let it go. You know, it's different, isn't it? The sorts of support that we might need. When have you felt, I'd love to hear in the comments section, when you've felt over this last year that you've really needed community? You know, challenges or opportunities that you've met, is things you wanted to celebrate or things you've wanted to navigate through where you've really needed community. Please let us know. Yeah, right, yes. Yeah, it can feel really lonely, right? It can feel really lonely. So that's the second reason, for support and belief, yeah? So we said hardwired for love and belonging, support and belief. The third reason is then the sharing of collective or shared wisdom. So here at One of Many, we talk about various wisdom domains, where there's wisdom that we can get from many, many places. There's our own individual wisdom, our own inner wisdom. And here at One of Many, we talk about the power types. We can navigate that without a community, no problem. But there are two types of wisdom that we can't access unless we have access to community. The two are this. Number one, shared wisdom. That's the wisdom where two people get their heads together and one person who knows shares with one person who doesn't know, right? So that's a sharing. And then there's also collective wisdom, that when we get two or more people together, there's sometimes a collective wisdom that activates, that Napoleon Hill in his book Think and Grow Rich calls the mastermind. It's a mind beyond all of the minds that are present, because there's a shared wisdom piece where we can only do as well as the smartest person in our group. That's shared wisdom. But then collective wisdom gets activated when the group does better than any individual out there, because of the huge, I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know, the interconnectedness or something. There's some energetic piece, bouncing of ideas off each other. It activates this collective wisdom, and we can get to a point beyond where any of us are, right? Beyond where any one person is. So that's the collective wisdom. So accessing wisdom we cut ourselves off from when we isolate. The fourth reason that we really need community powerfully is to push our own limits. We will all stop ourselves at some point. And I remember my Kung Fu instructor used to say, you can't get your best stretch alone, right? So we would be stretching out our hamstrings and he would have us all sitting on each other's backs to stretch. He said, because you can only push yourself so far, but when a friend comes in and pushes you that little bit further, that tiny little bit further, with gentleness and grace, without hurting you, but just that gentle push. Oftentimes it's that gentle push that has us grow and expand into an area that we might not have otherwise gone into, you know. Here at One of Many, we call it the warrioress, the fierce, committed stand that we can take for each other. That part that says, go on, you've got this, that little step further. And we need community for that. It's something we can't do for ourselves, yeah? It's something that we can't do for ourselves. And then the fifth reason related to that is then also accountability. Do you know, we need a community for accountability. We need other people to declare our intentions to, other people to declare, this is what I'm going to do, this is how it's going to change. And then they can hold us to account to that. They can remind remind us of what we've decided and help us stick to our plans, whatever plans they may be. They might be, wealth creation plans. They might be health and well-being, vitality plans. They might be that you've decided to get back into the dating game. But you've got to share it with somebody so that they can hold you to account. And then that other piece of just kind of gently pushing you forward, right? It's really, really critical, really critical. And then the sixth reason we need community is, I don't quite know how to describe it because I still don't have the language for describing it. You've probably heard me try to point to it a few times. But it's something to do with the shared energetic field that we live in. We're all energy, right? If you look at me under an electron microscope, you will see more space than you see matter. You see little electrons, which are just little buzzes of energy bundling all around. Everything, when you break it down far enough, is just energy. We're all energy, and we have this shared energetic collective field, yeah? So there is something there. There's something I've noticed. Where I notice it most powerfully is this. When we come together in community here at One of Many, for instance, we might have our one-woman conference where we have 450 women in a room together. And we do a healing meditation together. And you can feel that even those women who've never done anything like this before, never done any kind of meditation, don't really get it, don't understand it. It's like their hairs on their arms stand on end. They can feel the energy of the people next to them. And even if they don't want to let go of their baggage and their emotions and their shit from the past, something magical happens because they are in an energetic field of a lot of sorceress energy, a lot of really wise women doing deep healing work that impacts their body in some way, right? So there's this, so that's where I've seen it. I've seen it palpably, and I know that for myself, some of the biggest breakthroughs I've had around stuff happen not in one-on-one coaching sessions, but where I'm coming together as a group, right? Coming together in group, and it could be virtually. I mean, I do my 5 Rhythms dance classes, and yes, it's more powerful when we're in person, but even virtually, I can have a more powerful dance and let go session in a 5 Rhythms class online than I can if I do my own thing here just by myself. So there's something about this shared energetic space that I think activate something spiritual, something universal, something in this energetic field. And we can therefore borrow energy. It's not as conscious as that, but if we're feeling demotivated, we can borrow motivation from people. Do you know? We can come into like the Activate group that so many of you are participating in at the moment. And as I said earlier, if you're not yet and you want to activate your 2021, you want a 5-day challenge to let go of 2020 and move you towards a vision and be able to navigate, come and join us. It's at oneofmany.co.uk/activate. Maybe someone could pop it in the comments box for me. It'd be super. So please come and join the challenge. But the community, there's a motivation in there, a drive. Women saying, you know what, that's me. I'm not doing Netflix this week. It'll be there when I'm done. I'm doing this. You know, others saying, I'm going to get up earlier and I'm going to focus on this. And yes, 1 week I can do this. 1 week I can put myself first just for 1 week. It makes a huge impact when we can share energy and motivation like this. So we can share drive, we can share energy when we come together in community. So 6 powerful reasons why we need community, ladies. We are hardwired for love and belonging. We need it at an animalistic level. 2, we get that support and belief, you know, that championing and a soft space to land. 3, we activate collective and shared wisdom. 4, it pushes our limits, you know, that fierce committed stand for each other. 5, it helps us with accountability. And 6, energy and drive, this shared kind of energetic field or connection. How's this landing, How's this landing? Yeah, good. Let's have a look. That's so true. Elizabeth says, I've taken on a new team and told them their number one activity on return to work is to book in their health checks, eye tests, desk assessments. You wouldn't believe the pushback and excuses for not prioritising their own care, even when asked by their boss's boss. This is it, right? We tend to, especially when we're exhausted, we put ourselves last. And this is a perfect example of where community is critical, because who you're being for them, Elizabeth, in that moment, is that fierce, committed stand. You are being that, pushing their limits and saying, hey, look after yourself. That's so critical. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say, Elizabeth, your question there about why do they push back is because they're exhausted. The more exhausted, the more depleted we get, the more people tend into martyr. They're going into martyr archetype. It doesn't make logical sense. It's happening at an emotional level. My input there would be it's happening at an emotional level. So there's a big lot of emotions they've got going on. They're probably depleted already, and therefore they're then in the martyr cycle, and they're feeling like if they were to put themselves first, that they're actually going to lose in somehow, because martyrs like to win by being the biggest martyr. So there's probably something about that I would put forward. Yes. And Jean says, now this is community at work. Jean says, as a former team member, I can understand the pushbacks you're getting too, Elizabeth. A few people saying, reach out. I love it. Well done. Good job. So that's why we need community, ladies, right? That's why we need communities. Maxine is saying, I think about the Activate group. Amazing. It's got me moving. I hope so. That's awesome. That's wonderful. So then the next piece is, well, what? What can we do? What sorts of communities have we got available? What can we do right now when we're so isolated to activate community around us? The first piece is we can do what you're doing right now, and we can plug ourselves into community. Okay, this particular session is on our One of Many Facebook page, and it's a little bit of a one-way street. You guys are sending me some comments and so on, but you're getting to know each other a little in the chat channel. So I love the chat when you guys get to connect and what have you, right? So yes, but those women who are in our paid programs like Living the Change, we have a Facebook group called The Hearth, and the depth of connections that the ladies are developing with each other, the friendships that are forming, even though people have not met each other in person properly, it's all been through Zoom or virtual, is profound. It is amazing what we can achieve. Having said that, as I said, before Christmas, I gave the Living the Change ladies a challenge, and I said, I want you to reach out and take someone for a Zoom coffee. I want you to get to know someone deeper, because yes, being part of an online group is good, and that's a fabulous place to start. Then it is, what do you do with the online group to foster that deep need for love? Not just belonging, because yes, you can get that sense of belonging in the group, but that deep sense of love and connection that you want. For that, we need one-on-one relationships, deep relationships. And if you don't have any of those, you've got to build some. Who is there for you when the shit hits the fan big time? And when was the last time you had a great chat to them? Even if it was virtual. But if you can you go for a walk with them? Can you meet up with them? I know you can't hug them right now, but can you meet up with them in some way so that you get that neurological balm? You don't have to have the hug, although the hugs are great, to get that neurological balm, you know? So Activate, the challenge we're doing this week, is fostering these relationships as well, helping women to get connected to people around them. There's a great introductory post in there where you can get connected. Come and meet some people. Yeah, good. Excellent. I'm loving it. That's fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, right. That's lovely. Lovely. Nicola's just sharing an insight. It's an awesome Soul Sunday with Oprah Winfrey and the head of LinkedIn. He realized he had to say anything critical to himself in the mirror first to show compassionate management. I like that. That's really good. I love it. Yes, and Jane is saying one-on-one relationships are so rich. We have to have them, right? We have to have these deep relationships. So that's what I want you to do. That's my challenge for you today, ladies, is to reach out and get connected. Reach out and get connected to somebody. If you have a good friend you've not connected with for a while, reach out, have an evening with her on Zoom or him and talk it through. Send a care package, right? We can't actually go and give someone a hug, but box a little care package together to someone that you love and send it to them and say, you're special to me and I'm thinking about you. Get connected because we need community. And if you don't even know where to start with community, if you're so isolated you don't have that, please reach into our communities because they are full of exquisite and extraordinary women who know how to be a fierce, committed stand. They know how to be supportive and gentle and nourishing when they need to. They know how to love and they know how to accept love. And I think that is one of the things that makes our community so deeply rich and profound. So if you need it, get plugged into the Activate Challenge this week. Come and join us in Living the Change when we open doors on Saturday. We're opening for enrollments for 9 days. We'll have a 9-day enrollment period starting on Saturday. You can come and join us, and it would be an absolute pleasure to have you there. Lovely. Yeah, good. Let's hear. I want to hear from you. What are your takeaways from today? What are you going to do differently as a result of today's Lunch and Learn Live, ladies? Where are you putting your focus? Jean says, my brother does this. We speak maybe 3 times a year, but when the shit hits the fan, he'll be on the next train. That's it, right? That's it. But let's reach out and get connected, yeah? Yep. Alison says, my best pal's having cancer treatment, so I can't risk even a walk. So yeah, you can't do that, but what can you do? We can be in different rooms and we can still be connected. You can watch a movie together. You can share a Spotify playlist together. There's so many things that you can do together, right? Yeah, lovely. Elizabeth says, I realize there are 2 or 3 people that are mutually there for me, and I've revised my hearth thinking. So I hear at One of Many we talk about the hearth. Your hearth are those people who are always there for you, and the people at your hearth are those people for whom you are always there. She said, I kept one-sided giving to the realm or banishment, quite cathartic. Yeah, well done. Well done, my darling. That's awesome. Good job. Good job. Yay. She says, I've got an ex-work colleague, girlfriend, and we text a daily yay and a daily grr. How lovely. What a lovely idea. So every day a little text saying, here's my yay and here's my grr. I love that. I absolutely love that. That's beautiful. Nicola says, I'm going to stay connected. A little thank you. You're welcome. Amelia says, just got out for a walk while listening, which is very refreshing. Good. Tracy is saying, my hearth has changed too. My body is firmly ensconced there, having moved from a work colleague to a dear friend during this last 9 months. Great news. Great news. Jane says, I thank God for the new friends I've befriended globally, all the way from Kenya. Awesome. I love it. And Alison is going to phone her friend about how we can connect. Beautiful. Sabrina says, I'm going to contact some friends I haven't seen for a while for a Zoom coffee. Also contact the several Glaswegians in Activate and get to know them. Yes, for when we can meet up in person. What a great idea, Sabrina. Reaching out, personal message to those people going through Activate that are in your local area. In the introductory post, you can see that and get to know them, right? Reach out, get to know them. If you can go for a walk, go for a walk. When we get to reach out again in a couple of months' time, hopefully, we can start to meet. That'll be fantastic. Awesome. Fabulous ideas. Love it. Well done, ladies. Well done. Well, ladies, that brings us to the end of our Lunch and Learn Live for today. I hope that is helpful for you. Thank you so much for your participation. If this has been helpful, please share it with somebody. Who do you know that needs some connection? A reminder of how important it is not to be isolated, not to pull themselves away from others. Who do you know that needs that right now? Please share this with them by tagging them in the comments section. Write their name in the comments, share the video with it, or just share this video to your Facebook page. And maybe someone who needs to hear it might see it today and go, oh, I really needed to hear that right now. Thank you very much. Lots and lots of love to you all wherever you are in the world. And from my hearth to yours and my heart to yours, I hope you have a fabulous day. Those of you in Activate, I will see you bright and shining tomorrow morning, where we will be talking at 9 a.m. about habits. Habits that serve you and habits that don't. Habits that help and habits that hinder. We'll look why we have them, the habits that hold us back, and what to do about it in tomorrow's Activate session. See you then. Bye.